comes a car.
Okay, now watch me. I'm going to use number 1. Keep your eye on that thumb, baby, and see what happens.
I stood up my eye on the thumb.
Hitchhiking, the act of sticking out your thumb on the side of the road in order to get a ride from a passing car. If you ask people about hitchhiking today, you'll probably get an answer like this.
The warning's right there. Don't hitchhike. There's a killer on the loose.
Hitchhiking originated in the US around the 1920s due to the boom of the automobile industry, and it became a popular way for travel for those who couldn't afford to have a car. More and more people began to hitchhike, some in search of work and some as a way to seek adventure. It was an era of good feeling, an era of people being comfortable with each other, a we're all in this together sort of thing. Fast forward to today, and the highways are empty. But why? Some people say a big factor was the rise in car ownership. Since everyone had a car, there was less need to hitchhike. Also, the more people on the road led to an increase in crime, so hitchhiking became more dangerous. Law enforcement then started to put out PSAs such as this in order to deter people. And then came the movies.
The guy who picked me up before you did couldn't have walked very far.
Why is that?
Because I cut off his legs.
You can still see the odd person hitchhiking, but most people are afraid to pick them up in fear of something bad happening. Is this truly how the world is? Are we that disconnected and filled with fear that we can't trust each other and help out a stranger in need? I don't know. But I do know that I don't want to live in a world that's paralyzed by fear, so I'm doing this trip. I want to experience something real. I want to experience putting myself in a challenging situation and working my way through it. I want to connect with as many people as I can on this trip and prove to myself and others what is possible when we truly try to connect with one another. Can you tell me what your thoughts about me hitchhiking are?
It scares the hell out of me. And you're gonna make me cry right now. Because I'm scared. Really scared. That's what love does. I wish you weren't doing it. But I do understand. You gotta do what you gotta do. Just remember though, sometimes the risk isn't worth the reward.
Love you.
I love you too.
Today is the day, Mom.
I know.
You sad?
Yes. Of course I'm sad.
The day has finally arrived. I'm about to leave to go hitchhiking across Canada. My mom's about to drive me to Halifax where I have my first ride. It's not really hitchhiking for the first ride, but it was a really, really good ride that's taken me from Halifax to St. John's, New Brunswick, so I couldn't pass it up. We're here. We're about to start. You gonna miss me, Mom?
Yes, I'm gonna miss you. Don't. Stop. Stop.
This is my first ride here. She's gonna drive me from Halifax here all the way to New Brunswick, which is amazing. You're helping me out so much. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. I'll be okay, Mom.
Just be safe.
Love you. Love you too, Dad.
Be safe.
Alright. Bye.
Love you.
Love you. I will. I won't. You ready?
I'm ready.
The first ride. Here we go.
Very empty backseat.
This is the McDonald Bridge. Yeah. But it definitely like doesn't.
I guess like the demand
Yeah.
keep getting better and better and better.
I could wonder why I am here.
Alright, so we are officially in New Brunswick now, but now that means I'm actually going to be put out into the wilderness by myself. Oh boy, I'm not ready for this. Alright, well, goodbye.
Bye. Please be safe.
I will, I promise.
And let us know if you need something.
I will, I
We
promise,
need
I
us to
promise.
come get you.
Thank you for being my first drive.
You're more than welcome. But seriously, like, be safe, please.
Hey, bye. So now I am in Moncton and I need to find a piece of cardboard so I can write my first sign. Hopefully I'll be able to get a ride before the sun sets. The Trans-Canada Highway. That's gonna be how I'm gonna get all the way across Canada. We're finally at the highway here, hoping to get my first ride to Fredericton. I think there's a guy pulling up here right now, actually. How's it going? I don't think he wanted to stop for me. Thank you very much. So where are you guys from?
We're Spanish guy, but we live in Montreal.
How often do you pick up hitchhikers?
Yeah.
Very often?
Very often. Yeah.
Really? This is my first ride with a complete stranger, and I was starting to get a little worried listening to the sound of the engine trying to stay alive. Every engine light was on, telling them they needed to repair their van, yet they just kept going like it wasn't even there. But regardless, they were two really nice guys, and they thankfully got me to where I needed to go.
Let's go here, right?
Yeah.
Good luck, my friend.
Okay, so where they dropped me off happens to be right by a university, so I'm gonna go try and see maybe if some university people will take me in. What's up, guys? I'm Brad. Nice to meet you. I just hitchhiked all the way from Halifax.
Yes, sir!
What are you guys up to?
Chilling.
Is this the university here? Right down there.
It's down the hill, yeah.
Really? Do you guys all go to like, the university there?
Yeah.
What are the odds that one of you guys want to spontaneously put up someone on your couch for the night?
We already have someone staying on our couch.
Damn. Alright, well, you guys have a good night.
You too, man.
See you later. Have a good one. Hey dude, can I ask you a random question? Can I ask you guys a random question? You guys go to the university here?
Yeah.
My name is Brad. I'm actually hitchhiking across Canada right now, and I'm basically trying to survive off like the kindness of strangers. Would any of you guys be down to let me stay on your couch? I'll even like pitch up a hammock in your backyard if like you don't feel comfortable.
The problem is that we stay in a residence.
Are you guys in like the residence?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
We're not allowed to go.
Alright, well thank you anyways. Have a good night. So this is St. Thomas University, and there's like a huge event, and this is the welcome week, and they're gonna give me chicken strips because I haven't eaten yet. How's it going? Oh my god.
He's gonna get two.
Oh, two! Beautiful!
There's a bunch of chips there.
Oh my
Candy on
god.
the side, eat away. There's drinks on the side, there's water. Go ahead.
You
take
are
whatever you
amazing.
like.
Thank
Whatever
you
you
so
like.
much. Michaela gave me some food for the road, but unfortunately, all the students at the welcome week lived in residence, so I had to continue to look for another place to stay. I stumbled upon a house playing the Black Panther outside, and I ended up talking to a guy named Armin. He said I could crash at his place, but he didn't want to be filmed. We're gonna try two signs today. Mom wants me home, and just Quebec City. So I guess the rule of thumb is to leave enough space for the drivers to see you first off and read your sign and kind of get an idea of who you are, but then also leave enough space for them to stop down the road. This is a lot harder than I thought it would be, to be honest. I don't know how long I should stay here before I move. That's the problem. Because I was only waiting for like 10-15 minutes when I was in Moncton.
I can't take you very far. I just seen your sign. I'm literally going like through the downtown core.
Oh damn. Have you ever hitchhiked before?
Yeah.
Is this like a good spot? Like
Yeah. So like once you pass the traffic circle, like just straight line.
okay. Well thank you very much for stopping
No,
anyways.
I'm sure someone will pick you up. You look friendly. I'd pick you up.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, see ya.
Have a good day. So after running down here to see that car, I realized that right over here is a roundabout. So all these cars that are driving by me right now are going in multiple different directions. That is where I want to go. Oh, yeah. Woo. got a ride, baby. Oh no! Oh, don't drive! Ah. No, they're driving away. This is super demoralizing when you're just sitting here and seeing people drive by. I just really hope I can get out of Fredericton and just like into a new city at least. At least make some progress forward instead of just staying here. How's it going?
Good.
Where are you headed?
I'm going up to Highway 3.
Will that be an easy way to get a ride to Edmundston?
Oh yeah.
Oh, sweet. Thank you so much. So what's your name?
Ray.
My name's Brad.
I got a son named Brad.
Really? How old is he?
46.
Yeah, I'm trying to get all the way to Vancouver.
When it gets cold and you start heading a little west of here.
Have you ever done any hitchhiking yourself?
Well, yeah, I was in the military for 25 years.
Okay.
I used to hitchhike from Kingston to Hamilton every weekend.
Yeah, not many people pick up hitchhikers anymore.
No, it's a very different thing now because people are afraid of different things, I guess.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to get into. But if you're lucky, hey, I was on my way up here doing something and I said, the hell with it, because lots of room in the car. So.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too, Brad.
Being dropped off here is a little bit concerning because I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm not even in like a city. So if I don't get a ride, I'm kind of screwed. Hey.
Where are you headed to?
I'm headed to Quebec.
Oh, I'm just going to Woodstock.
Honestly, that's probably better than here. Do you mind if I get in? Sweet. Have you ever picked up a hitchhiker before?
Once.
Once, really?
Yeah.
What made you stop for me?
I don't know. I just stopped.
Yeah? Well, thank you.
Usually I'm kind of worried picking up people on the roads.
Yeah.
But sometimes I just stop. I think there's so many things going on in the world, so a lot of people get scared and worried when it comes to both hitchhiking and picking people on the roads. So,
Yeah. And where were you from again?
Malawi.
Do you have like family here?
I have a family back home in Malawi. Brothers, sisters, I have 2 kids. It's been a part of life, people taking this, making some sacrifices so that they can better themselves or better their communities. Moving here, I've learned a lot of things that probably I wouldn't if I was back home. But yeah, I miss.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, all right.
Have a good day.
You too. Take care.
Dennis dropped me off at a perfect place to get back on the highway, but I didn't carry any food with me, so I had to stop and refuel and stock up on water since I still had a long way before I got to Edmundston. I can't wait until it starts to cool down. It'll be so much easier to hitchhike. Let's hope we can get me to Quebec City with this highway stretch here. Yes! I got a fucking ride, baby! Woo! Oh, yeah! Have you ever picked up a hitchhiker before?
No, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you don't seem like the serial killer type. You got a cute baby face. So, you know, I'm gonna sound like the crazy person. I just got off the psych ward. Had a bad experience with an ex and tried to kill myself. His little sister started this rumor about me that like I snorted a bunch of Adderall before work, got high and overdosed. Like that's not at all what happened, you know. Bam, the thoughts of suicide, the complete and utter depression you never thought you would ever have. You've gone like a really long time and just lived with all these horrible thoughts and, you know, you're kind of forced to pretend to be someone you're not. I always told myself I was never going to kill myself. But at this point, I can't see myself dying any other way. That is a horrifying
After driving me over a half an hour out of her way, I got dropped off in Perth, New Brunswick. That was definitely one of the most intense conversations I've had in a long time. It's surprising that somebody is willing to open up that much to a complete stranger, but at the same time, it felt so natural. I had about an hour left of reaching my goal of Edmundston, so I made my way back to the highway and I got picked up by a guy who didn't want to be recorded, but he drove me 25 minutes north to Grand Falls. So the sun is starting to get kind of low. It's about maybe 80% trucks right now that are going by, and trucks are basically a guaranteed no. Trucks don't really stop, so my chances are looking really slim. I might have to find somewhere to sleep outside. And all these fuckers over here are looking at me, laughing. I got a fucking ride! Woo! How's it going, sir? Where are you heading to?
I'm going to Hamilton, but I'm going past Kingston.
Really? You could drop me off there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah? That would be great, thank you.
Yeah, I was actually, I said if I see a hitchhiker, I was going to pick him up. And my daughter said, you better not. Somebody picked me up all those years. I said, I'm going to do it. And I always did it. And I've never had a bad experience. So.
Yeah. So there's a road right down here that actually used to be the old Trans-Canada Highway.
Yes.
And now this is the Trans-Canada Highway that we're on, right?
Yes.
And you said you used to drive down that?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Back in the 80s. Do you remember that?
No.
I worked as a welder, I worked as a business owner. I got tired of it. I was living in Ontario, I had 2 tenants. But every time I go home, I'd be painting the balcony, painting the patio. I want to go home and actually have a holiday. So it just so happened that Mom died at the same time. So now I lost a house and Mom too. And I was always a busy man, so now no wife, and no mom, and no second job. We'll see how this one plays out. I think I'm at my ideal spot. I just got to learn that I've done my thing and it's time for me to wind down. That's what my mind is telling me. My body wants me to do more, but...
Yeah. Earl dropped me off on the outskirts of Quebec City and continued his way to Hamilton. It was 10:30, I had no idea where I was, and I don't speak any French, so I was starting to get a little bit worried. I decided the best option was to take a cab downtown and look for a hostel.
I am Jack Hamel.
Construction?
No, I married 4 times, 4 wives, 5 children.
Wow.
I am Jack Hamel.
Oh, yeah.
Victor Jack Hamel.
Victor Jackhammer dropped me off near one of the hostels. As soon as I got out of the cab, I was amazed by the architecture of the city, so I decided to go explore and try to meet some people instead of going straight to the hostel. I saw a group of people outside one of the local bars and I went to talk to them.
Brad fucking made the right people tonight.
They introduced me to Anthony, who offered me a place to crash on his couch. We hung out for a bit, had a few beers, and then Anthony gave me a quick tour of the city and took me to see his school where he studies architecture. Oh my god, wow. Dude, this is insane.
The life inside, it's amazing.
Thank you for showing me this.
You're welcome. You have to meet locals if you want to see the best part in town and understand the way of living. You have a lot of opportunities just to meet good people and just ask for a couch like you did. I think it's the best way to travel.
Yeah,
at our
100%.
age.
Do they know I'm here?
No, but
they'll be cool with it.
Yeah, of course.
Well, dude, thank you. Oh, it's actually a pull-out bed?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I got a serious hookup here. I've got a whole bed. Oh man. And I was gonna go stay in a hostel. And now I have this. It's crazy how just like going out of your comfort zone a little bit can lead to some of the weirdest and coolest experiences you'll ever have. Next episode on the Hitchhiking web series. It's definitely getting a little stressful. I also just read a post and a female hitchhiker just was murdered this week.
Police say 28-year-old was visiting Canada, and police believe she was killed while hitchhiking from Penticton to Vancouver.
So that's definitely putting me a little bit on edge. Making me a little bit worried on like whether or not this is worth going through, especially doing it solo.